Hello, everyone. Cindy here, talking about love. I'm excited. I'm about to have one of my good friends, yay, Dr. Gary Sayer. I can never say his last name right. Anyways, we're going to talk for a few minutes about our conversation that we recently had in our interview. Coming on now. Hey, Dr. Gary, how are you?
I'm doing good. I didn't realize this was going to be. Let me turn on an overhead lights.
We can do this.
How you doing? How you doing, Cindy?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you too. It's a good day, isn't it?
Beautiful day, isn't it?
It is.
Yay! Yay!
Yay!
So I'm so happy that you're here, and I loved our conversation and our interview that we had, and that is airing live on the Successful Woman's Guide for Love. And something that you shared about that one I don't think anybody should miss is you talked about like some of the things that stops love from flourishing and from actually, opening up, and you talked a little bit about body language. I would love for you to share just a little snippet about how how sometimes we get shut down in our relationships simply due to that. And as a public service announcement, support these people.
Well, public service announcement says,
right?
No
pressure, Gary. No pressure at all.
No pressure. Mm-hmm. Our brain is scanning to see if it's safe. 4 to 5 times a second. It's checking in with your body. It's checking outside. And one of the main things our attachment system is looking for is body language. It includes, facial expressions, but body language, because, unlike reptiles that live alone, we have to know if somebody, since we seek bonds, if it's safe to have that connection.
Right.
So, a lot of times couples or even singles, if they're on a date, don't realize that their body is sending signals, I feel safe, or whether I'm even safe to be with. So if we're not watching those...
How does a woman stay conscientious of that? If she's on a date, and because she may not feel completely safe, because it could feel a little uncomfortable for her, especially if it's a first date. Somebody she's first meeting.
Well, you can feel uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. But I still believe if you're going out on a date, you find a place where you can feel safe. So set it up so okay, I feel safe in a restaurant where there's a lot of people around me. Know what makes you feel safe, so to speak. And then, we want to welcome each other with joy. Years and years and years ago, I remember being on a date, and I went out 3 times, and we went out to dinner, and she kept her jacket on, her coat, the entire time.
The whole time?
The entire time.
She was getting ready to leave from the moment she sat down with you.
Well, it wasn't so much leave as it felt like body armoring, that some part of her needed to keep hidden underneath there, right? And the second date, I thought, well, maybe she was just not feeling comfortable. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty much the same the second date. And the third date, I decided, wherever this is, I can't make her feel safe. This isn't worth it. Right?
This isn't going to happen, right?
This isn't going to happen. I think we do have to make sure that, you know, we feel safe and we make the other feel safe and welcome as well, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's
body language is your head's back all the time. Some part is trying to leave, you know. Our physiology always rats us out. If you're truly not feeling safe and you're not safe with love, or you're not safe with men, or you're just not safe dating, you know, you'll have to rework that sense of safety, because you cannot help but broadcast it. We are literally created to broadcast our internal autonomic state. So if we don't work on that, yeah, if we don't work on that so that we truly do feel safe, our body will broadcast that message. Have you ever heard somebody say they felt uptight?
yeah.
To me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I felt uptight the whole time. I felt it's like, and sometimes, you know, if somebody does date, or they have been dating, they might go out on a date and go, "Oh, I felt uptight the whole time." Whereas I met somebody else and I felt like I could totally be open and be myself. And
yes.
um,
Well,
so your
yeah,
your
well,
body physiology also doesn't lie either.
the physiology never lies. We were, and that's, you know, we cannot help but do that. That's, some people call that body armoring. I mean, and we know from attachment science that when somebody has a real rigid body sense, it's you can also pretty much bet, if they're all uptight, that they don't have a full right to love and be loved. That's part of the physiology of that uptight, not sure if I'm really good enough, lovable, and then your body gets really rigid, right? And
So I know
that's
this is,
just subconscious.
yeah, and that's so, I think this is just such an important thing. Like, if we're really uptight and we're not able to relax and like lean into, you know, feeling safe within ourselves. So that's the invitation to do the inner work, to feel safe within yourself first, and then um, so that you're open to give and receive love. Well,
Exactly. You know,
and like,
we
I
don't,
think a lot of people are probably thinking, the watchers and listeners that are checking us out right now, and that will continue to after we are done. How? They're all wondering how. What's the steps? What's the magic pill?
well, there's two broad steps. Okay. One is you can work with your body so that it feels safer. You know, there's a lot of physiological stuff, tap and breathe. I mean, we could listen to we need a calm body. And if your body has constantly been on fight and flight, it get grooves to be that way. We want it to be able to have a parasympathetic reset, and so that people, we can calm, we can relax. We don't have that real high pitched voice. You know, that's another way tension with love shows up, so to speak, or fear. And the other one is, you know, if you truly don't feel safe, it's okay to admit that and to do the deep work so that you can find out why you don't feel safe. That's, you know, I wrote the book Safe to Love Again, and
Mm-hmm.
reclaim feelings like it's okay to feel empowered or cherished or worthy. If you feel safe with those feelings and you're running them, I'm worthy, I'm cherishable, I'm safe, I'm lovable, you know, I'm empowered. Those sort of people tend to feel more safe unless there's something
Yeah.
weird going on externally. And if you work with your body and your brain to load up safety, then you broadcast that. This allows the other person to see, oh, this person might be available for a healthy relationship. And it also allows you to get a good read on them, because you're not,
Yeah. Then you
you know,
can trust your own body for how you're really responding to them, not from your kind of triggered place when you're, you know, in a more unsafe place. Like, if you're always feeling unsafe, versus if you get your body into a safe place, then you can drop into your heart and see, how do I feel? Yeah.
if you walk into a date in a really safe place. Your body's calm, your brain's calm, and you're open. And then you can sense that some part of your body, proprioceptive awareness is what they call it. Your body has an awareness too, is not feeling right. Then you have a clean read on the situation, which is a little different than if you walk in already preloading it and someone that actually safe feels dangerous. And weirdly enough, someone that's dangerous or not quite safe feels
safe.
Feels more familiar. Yes, and therefore safe. So it gives you a cleaner read, to work with your body and your brain so that you can walk in and your natural resources to read people, which are all there. We were all born with that. Can work effectively. And then you can make an adequate, decision. This person feels good to me, or not so much. Not so much. And that's important. Those first impressions, I wouldn't say every first impression you should go with. Sometimes people can be socially, shy or whatever, so they don't always show up the first time or two. You give them a little chance. I would always give somebody a chance unless something really feels off to me.
Right? I agree with that.
Yeah. Give them a chance.
Yeah, I always coach clients on that too.
Yeah, give them a chance. But by the fourth or fifth date, you want to be able to know you're coming from a really physiological and emotional clean space so that you can adequately say, you don't want past pain running the deal. You want what's going on between you in the moment running, whether that prospect is a candidate for Mr. or Ms. Right or not.
For certain. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I also really loved our conversation on the Successful Woman's Guide for Love. And I loved how we talked about, body language in relationship and how you could be communicating all the right things coming out of your mouth. But and the other person could be communicating all the right things, but if physiologically our head's back or something, something doesn't feel aligned, then that's when the safety again goes out the door, and people tend to get triggered and don't necessarily know why. So it's just such an important topic for people to understand. So not only are they showing up in that capacity to be open and give and receive love fully, but their partners are too.
Exactly. Couples have to be able to read each other. I don't know how many times I've seen couples, when they're talking, they listen. They really do a good job keeping eye contact. And then when they start saying, they look down. And I think we discussed this in the interview.
Yeah.
And after reading their thoughts down here, they're not seeing how it's landing over there. And then 2 minutes later, something they said triggered them. And if they had been looking and reading while speaking, they would have said, oh, that head went back. The color went out of their face. Maybe I need to say that differently. Maybe I need to make a repair and see what's going on over there. Get curious. And when they don't, and they're all looking down here and they're not reading, that's when you get that, where did this argument come from, right?
Yeah.
We have to constantly be reading ourselves, the others. Some part of us does this naturally, and sometimes we have to train ourselves to do it. But it's better. Love is a lot better when you can attune in that way.
Yes, I like that attunement, and getting curious is so very important. Well, Dr. Gary, I appreciated you being here and us getting to have this conversation. And I'm so excited next week for your interview to be aired on the Successful Woman's Guide to Love. You can, opt in, grab the link in my bio, and also get Dr. Gary's book, It's Safe to Love, too.
Safe to Love Again. Exactly. Yes, and thank you for having me a part of your wonderful event.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Just so amazing to have you. I always love your energy and your insight and our conversations. So
thank you. Same here.
Yay. Yay. Well, until next time, thanks everybody for being here, and we'll see you on the other side.
Absolutely. Thank you for all being here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone.